So we've talked about the use of AutoTrainer before the F&I transaction and during the F&I transaction. Tell us what it can do after the F&I transaction.
Well, that's where, in my opinion, some of the magic really happens, because after AI has graded the process and graded the compliance, graded that performance against the audible checks, what we can do is generate a variety of different reports, report cards, scores to score somebody, to point out where the strengths are in the process and in compliance, and where maybe some coaching opportunities are.
I am for recording the F&I transaction to keep the F&I manager honest and legitimately for training purposes. But the problem with that approach is that it takes you as long to review the recording as the transaction took, and no one has that kind of time. Are you telling me that your system can focus in on where the bad stuff happened or where the good stuff happened and just take you right there?
Absolutely. So we've actually talked to different agents that say, every morning with their morning coffee, they spend 2 hours listening to recordings of F&I managers to try and get some of this data that we can instantly, after the transaction is completed, you click the stop button, and almost instantaneously do you have a green, yellow, and red score for not only the process, but individual steps within the process, individual questions within the process, and then it is all compiled into an overall score as well. So we're actually focusing in on 5 different scores for the F&I manager. The first one is that process score. How closely did they follow that prescribed process based on what your dealer wants to set as the benchmarks? The next one is the compliance score, which is near and dear to your heart, is based on a number of different federal laws that we've written in with your help to get the script and put it in there, those audible checks that are in there. Next is profitability. So we talk primarily with your menu provider. We're able to pull that data. We also look at utilization. Is it fair for that F&I manager to only do finance deals and they exclude cash deals? So we look at the utilization rate amongst the F&I managers. And then last but not least, we have an overall score where we average those all 4 together.
That sounds very well thought out.
Yes. So a district manager or a agent or TPA doesn't have to sit there in the morning with their coffee and listen to 2 hours worth of recordings. It's all right there at their fingertips. We can go back as far as they've been a client of AutoTrainer and go back and listen to those. And it gives that surgical approach to that income development that we talked about, Jim.